So what is CBT? CBT is such a powerful tool that we have used in our practice, and it is the basis of all of our programs and teachings. The core premise is that we have the ability to control our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors, and because of this, we can create the life experience that we want. There is no greater power to have than the ability to create your own dreams. So, what does CBT stand for? Well, it stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, and in coaching, it's also referred to as Cognitive Behavioral Technique because it is used differently in coaching than therapy. And we talk more about the difference between the two in another video. Cognitive refers to the process of learning and understanding through our experience, which we take in through our five senses, and also what we think about. Cognitive processes happen both consciously, meaning we're aware of them, and unconsciously, meaning they happen automatically without our awareness. Behavior refers to the way that we act, which can happen deliberately when we're aware of our cognitive processes, or it can happen reactively when we are responding unconsciously to a situation. So now let's look at the core principles of CBT. It is our perception of a situation rather than the situation itself that determines how we feel about it and how we react to it. Our perspective of a situation can change if we change the way that we look at it, just like putting on a pair of glasses with a different colored lens or looking at an object from a different angle. When we have a negative interpretation of a situation, it causes a negative emotional reaction within us. Finding a positive viewpoint of a situation leads to improved emotional well-being. The actions we take are chosen based on what we think, and especially on how we feel about a situation. And therefore, if we change the way we think, it changes our emotional state, which then influences our decision-making and leads to better decisions. When we change our negative thought processes, improve our mood, and stop sabotaging behavior, we are better able to meet our goals. So how does CBT work? Because of these underlying principles, CBT is designed to help us manage our perceptions and interpretations, which can be distorted due to cognitive distortions or errors in our thinking, as well as limiting beliefs. It teaches us how to become aware and then teaches us how to think more clearly and positively. CBT helps us overcome negative, destructive thinking. But it's not just positive thinking, it's logical, clear-minded, healthy thinking. If you've ever made assumptions or jumped to conclusions, or made a situation worse than it was by worrying about the worst-case scenario, then you have experienced cognitive distortion. Many of these faulty ways of thinking are obvious once you know they exist, but you don't notice them in daily life because almost all thinking happens automatically or unconsciously. CBT also helps you tame the tormenting critic voice inside of your head and take your power back from others who have implanted beliefs into your mind. Through CBT, you will learn how to identify the source of negative, limiting, destructive thinking. Develop awareness of the emotions and beliefs associated with the negativity. Develop the ability to catch negative thoughts in the act, reframe them, and choose an empowered thought instead. Practice processes and behaviors to develop positive, rational, empowering thought processes and coping mechanisms that you can apply to real-life situations. So I'm going to tell you a quick history of CBT. CBT was founded by psychiatrist Aaron Beck in the 1960s when he noticed a strong correlation between his patients' thought patterns and internal dialogue with their emotions and their actions. So today, it seems like common sense to many people, but at the time, it was truly revolutionary. CBT was the first shift in the study and practice in psychology that moved towards the underlying belief that the human mind can be trained and enhanced in order to produce happiness, fulfillment, and optimum performance. And it pushed away from this focus on mental disorders and dysfunction, which was common at the time. CBT recognized the dysfunction of the faulty programming, but then sought to reprogram it. Unlike other forms of psychotherapy used then and today, CBT focuses on the here and now, thoughts and beliefs, and it does not go back digging into the past looking for the root of emotional problems. Now, by the 1990s, the positive psychology movement was in full swing, and over the years, the evidence that supports the validity of CBT has only continued to grow. The self-help and human potential movement are based on this notion of self-empowerment, as well as the field of life coaching. Today, CBT is used by counselors, therapists, and coaches who want to teach their clients to change their unwanted behavior by changing their thought patterns. It can also be useful when the thoughts and emotions themselves are what is problematic, such as obsessive thinking, not being able to stop stewing about things that are bothering you, destructive self-talk, and self-sabotaging behavior. This course is designed to help you reconnect to your ultimate power, self-awareness, and the ability to direct your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You'll do this by reprogramming your thinking, developing mindfulness, and learning tools for stopping the negative thinking that holds you back from achieving your dreams.